he left us a bequest, and that's what's become this competition. He left the committee that were organising that bequest, organised a couple of things. Firstly, what was called at the time the Laurie Thomas Salon, which is this competition we're talking about now, and the second thing was the Laurie Thomas Winter School, which is something that CPS runs each winter. The expectation was that the money would run out, but this efforts that have gone into this salon and the participation by everybody and other bequests and other ways we've made money over the time have kept that fund rolling, so that each winter we still have a winter school each year for club members to go on. So it's a weekend away from Christchurch, and it's really fantastic. So for all of you who entered this competition, thank you. You've contributed towards our weekend workshop, and that'll go down really well. It's long lasting, and it'll keep going because the work that goes into this competition and other things that CPS do to contribute to that. So he's set up something that's maintained over a considerable period of time, and it's worth pursuing. The New Zealand Landscape Salon, which is what you have entered, is something which we rebranded the Laurie Thomas Salon a couple of years ago. The logic around that was that PSNZ members universally knew exactly what the Laurie Thomas Salon was about, but it's not a particularly descriptive name, and we're trying to broaden the number of people who enter and just get this out to a number of other places, so people who are enthusiastic about the New Zealand landscape can be involved. And so hence we've renamed the competition to the New Zealand Landscape Salon. We have retained the trophy, which is sitting here in front of me, being called the Laurie Thomas Trophy. So that sort of name passes all the way through. Yeah, and that's the aim of the game. The other thing that's happened, I'm going to talk a little bit about later on, is the fact that the results from the salon have now been created into a fantastic book that, again, I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. If you don't know about that, as of tonight, the results for this salon have been presented into a book that's going to get produced now, and you'll be able to look at the PDF version of it on the website tonight. Okay, so a little bit about the Laurie Thomas Trophy. I found, we were looking at some old archive things that were stored in a box and have been there for ages, and I came across this. And this is a drawing of the original design for the competition, for the trophy, which was made by Leslie Sales, FPSNZ, who was a member of CPS at the time. There are some, if anybody wants to come and have a look at them, they're a little bit crinkly because they're dated in 1990s. This is her sketch notes as she put together the trophy, and she's made something really spectacular. It's worth reading what she described down the bottom. This is a purely abstract expression of the curves in the landscape. Its natural shape may appeal. I was trying to express lines of flowing water flowing downstream and around rocks. So that's what this trophy kind of represents. This is the trophy that we're giving out tonight, and that's what it comes about. We make one of these, so each recipient gets to keep it, and there are one or two people who've got two of these on their shelves, so it's difficult to achieve. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about when it comes to the competition. And now I want to introduce the convening judge for this competition to say a few words about how the judging procedure went, and just to let you know how that. Irene, please come up. Here we go.
Oh, thank you. Good evening. It was a nice trip up to Nelson. The road was just opened after the big storm, and it was a bit rough. But our judging for the salon was actually very, very smoothly run, and I'd like to thank the committee for being able to do that for us so easily. Well, I'm not sure if it was easy. You might have had some problems in the background that we didn't know about. There was Rachel Smith, Peter Robertson, and myself, and I must admit we all agreed wholeheartedly over the winning image, straight up, and the other ones were so easy to pick. It was a really, really, really good range of images. Some we saw a few that were similar, but overall there was a good range and they were all very, very well done. So I'd like to thank everyone who entered, and I'd be very pleased to judge it in the future if I'm ever asked.
All right, Rach just wants to give you a little thank you. What we're doing is, we haven't got one here. We were going to try and give Irene a book, but we haven't got a copy of the book because we haven't printed it yet. So as an interim, I owe you, here's a bunch of flowers to say thank you again for the efforts that went into this.
Judging is my happy place. I love judging. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just the other thing I wanted to mention, that was 522 entrants in this year's Salon, and 74 images were awarded. That's about 14%. So if there's any of you that are feeling a little bit disappointed, 14% is a hard number to get in. So, but when it comes to looking at the book, the quality of the book, we can certainly see that the net result has made it well and truly worthwhile. Okay, we're going to move on to an audio visual which basically runs through the awarded images that have been made tonight. So, Alistair, roll them. Thanks, Laurie. Thank you, everybody. I think you'll all agree there's a pretty spectacular range of images there from one end of the country to the other, and rest assured it's coming together as a fantastic book, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Okay, time to present some images, some certificates. John, do you want to come up and help that? And Irene, can you come up and shake hands and pass out and all that sort of exciting stuff? Now, the essence of this is that they are done, accepted at honours and medals, etc., but they're grouped together, so if a recipient it gets 3 acceptances and honours, they'll come in one foul swoop, as I think how the projection works. That's right. Yep, John tells me that that's right. So, and we won't know if there'll be a good number of people in the North Island that haven't been able to come down. So if you're here, don't be slow standing up, so that we know you're here. Or if we look like we're going to move on, go, oi, stop, or something along those lines. Is everybody ready to leap into the air when they're ready to go?
Quite interesting, because some people, you can see some people won multiple awards and others.
Yeah, there's a big range. Roll it. So an acceptance for Bill Ashcroft. An acceptance for David Bowie for Pool Burn Serenity. No, David. An acceptance for Michael Burns for Mount Potts. An acceptance for Liz Caldwell, Just Make This Dock My Home. I'm peering over the shoulder of these guys here, so not Liz. There's no name on there. Acceptance for Kopua Beach from Murray Cave. Congratulations, Murray. 3 acceptances for Jackie Chalice, and I don't know what they are, so we'll just have to... Well done, Jackie. Heather Colling, an acceptance for Dusket Farewell Spit. You can take them home. Acceptance for Michael Colling for Wanaka Twilight and Lake Waipau Forest. Acceptance for Maxine Cooper, who jumped up really quickly. Well done, time and tide at Gore Bay. Acceptance for Barry Dench for View from the Lookout.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks very much.
Oh.
You're not allowed to run away just yet. Okay, yeah, I'm holding it. Right, okay, good smiling. Thanks very much, Irene.
An acceptance for Brian Eastwood for Paradise Wood. An acceptance for Rach Evans for Milky Way Arch over the Tasman. Acceptance for Carol Garside, 3 acceptances. For Raglan Waves, Dusk at Stony River and the Bones of the Garlock. 2 acceptances for Alan Golder, for June and McLean Falls. An acceptance for Neil Gordon for Waterfalls at Milford Sound. An acceptance for John Gregory for Waitaki Basin. An acceptance for Dave Hart, Where Light Lingers. An acceptance for John Hawkins, St. Clair Divine. An acceptance for Shona Jarre, Rural Hawke's Bay. Acceptance for Adrian Jefferson Brown for Lake Jetty under the Milky Way Arch. For Royce Johnston, 2 acceptances at night, as night departs Glenorchy Wharf and a very wet and moody Milford Sound. Acceptance for Lisa Cairns for Stony River. Acceptance for John Leithwick for Gorge over the Callery River. An acceptance for Barbara Lee for Dusty End of the Day coming down the Cadrona Skifield Road. Can't doubt what that is. An acceptance for Joe Lyons, Crepuscular Rays and Doubtful Sound. Brian David Long for The Rush and the Calm. An acceptance for Ross McIver, Winter Trees. An acceptance for Andrew Peterson, Hollyford Stream. 2 acceptances for Suzanne Paul, Kaitiaki and The Moon Between the Mountains. Accepted for David Prentice, Maori Bay. An acceptance for Pauline Smith, Kahikatea Forest Reflections. Michael Ven's 2 acceptances, 2 Trees and Castle Point. Greg Vass, an acceptance for Colossal Feelings. Brian Wesley Smith, 3 Sisters. 2 acceptances for Sue Wilkins, Public Road and Koropuku Falls. An acceptance for Cheryl Williams. something else. Mount Sunday Hekateri Conservation Park. An acceptance for Adair Wilson. Ponywai Shepherd's Warning. Now on to the honours. Joe Broadhead for Mother Nature Milford Sound. Kevin Clark, 1 honours and 1 acceptance. The honours is heading home to Christchurch, and the acceptance Finding Peace in Pyramid Valley. Martin Cone, an honours for Fog Rising in Skippers. Paul Lecomte, 2 honours and 1 acceptance. Give us the acceptance first. The acceptance is Tiana Awai Silver Solitude, honours Ruitana for Dawn, and Azura Allergy Pool Burn Reflections. Well done for you.
My pleasure. Surprise.
Thanks. 2 honours and 2 acceptance for John Lyon for A Rock in a Hard Place. No, Southern Dawn and Rolling Moon, A Rock, and Dusky Trees. Bonnie Steetskamp, 1 honours and 2 acceptance. Bonnie's acceptance was Sunrise in the Fog, Kaikoura Pia, and a Hokitika Gorge Rock Reflections, and an honours for Inside the Spectacular Arapara Arch. And an honours for Chris Watson for Emergence. And honours for Paul Williams, the Old Iron Bridge at Ohau. Okay, on to the medal winners. 3 bronze, 2 silvers and a gold. The first bronze to Carolyn Foster for The Huddle. No. Unfortunately, none of our medal winners are here tonight. Gary Mills got a bronze medal and 1 acceptance. His acceptance was Cape Foulwind, and his bronze medal is to Teoko Bay, Aurora. Yeah. Sharon Supranek got a bronze and 2 acceptance. The acceptance were Dawn Blush and A Winter's Tale, and the bronze medal is for Awakening. Silver medal. John Ford achieved an acceptance and the silver medal. The acceptance was Tree Shadows, and the silver medal, One Tree Island. And Meg Lipscomb, a silver medal for Fog in the Bush. And the gold medal winner is tonight Roger Wandless, who got an acceptance for Plateau Hut at Night, and his gold medal winning image is Winter's Abstract on the left-hand side. As I said, some people have won this a couple of times, so congratulations to Roger, who fits in that category. But what we're going to do now, CPS kind of a tradition, is we get honours people and above to talk about their image. So there's a few here. So we're just going to go through those people who are here with the honours, and I'm going to flick the honours up and then find the person. So who's first? Keep going, keep going. Paul. Right, where's he hiding? We just want you to tell us a little bit about the backstory that's involved in this one. Here we go. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the judges. It was completely unexpected, as it was my first time entering this prestigious award. The top left image, Paul Byrne, is, as Ian alluded to, we can double up on a lot of images, and going to a place that a lot of people go to, like Paul Byrne, it's difficult to try and find new compositions. It would have been great if there were clouds, but there were no clouds, so I was just working with the sunset on that one. The bottom image was actually on the same trip coming home, a way that I decided I had never driven before, take the long way home, and suddenly this valley, I can't remember the name of the valley, somewhere in South Canterbury, the whole valley was just full of these trees, so I spoilt for choice. And then the image on the right was actually just another one of so many people have taken this shot so many times. I was actually down there, I missed the hoarfrost, but I went down for a decent fog, and there was a line of people on the Waipiro side of the water there, and I didn't really want to muscle in on there, so I went and found a composition on my own. It's not the normal composition, but that rock stood out for me, so it was the rock that actually made it.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. And I like that idea of a road trip. We're doing a road trip next year. Ferg, you listening? Bonnie. Where's Bonnie hiding? There she is. Tell us about your picture.
The Opera Arches are up past Karamea Way, and it's a beautiful walk-in. If anyone's up that way, really do try and go there. And there's another arch that you can go to as well, the Moria Arch. It's quite hard to photograph because there's lots of different lightings, but what I really loved was the very fine waterfalls. You can see one on the kind of right and one very vaguely on the left. So yeah, that's that. And the one below was taken at the Kaikoura.
On a Laurie Thomas weekend.
On a Laurie Thomas weekend, yeah. That's where I learnt how to do better water pictures. So it was a bit disappointing at first because it was quite misty that day, but in the end I quite liked it. And this was another Laurie Thomas weekend on the right at Hokitika Gorge. I actually didn't take it as a macro type of look, but I cropped it in a little bit just to get that. It's quite hard if there's too much kind of mess around, so I just sort of tried to keep it simple, and the watercolour was just beautiful that day. So, yeah.
Awesome. And I do want to say that picture in the arch, you very rarely see them as well lit as that, so well done. That was an awesome picture. Paul, can you tell us about the bridge?
Sure. This image has been quite successful. It's in New Zealand camera and got silver in the Iris Awards, and has been up on display in Tekapo on the waterfront. It's taken in Twizel, just along the road from the salmon farm, and it's taken in a hoarfrost. So we actually were coming back from Wanaka, and we decided to delay our trip by a day to get the hoarfrost in Twizel. And yeah, we went down the end of the lake and took a photo back on the bridge, and I made sure I didn't get the top of the bank. The bank goes behind it, so but it makes it a bit more abstract to have the bank not showing the top.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody. And as I said, we usually like to have a winner here so we can actually present this fantastic trophy, but Roger knows what one looks like, and he's probably got one behind him when we join him on Zoom in his study. Oh, he needs to see us. We're working on the technique. Oh, he's in the kitchen. Where's the trophy, Roger?
Oh,
Nope.
good. All right, well, look, first of all, I just wanted to say congratulations to all the entrants. That's the first time I've seen the run through the images, and
Oh,
to come out on the
kitchen.
top
Where's
of the
the
pile of
trophy,
all those
Roger?
images, I feel a bit sort of, I feel like I've got imposter syndrome, really. There's some wonderful images. Congratulations to everyone. So to be the winner is, you know, it's a complete privilege and honour. So thank you to the judges and the organisers. This is a competition that's probably the most prestigious landscape competition in New Zealand, and it's something I've been entering for years and years. So to have come out and won it is, well, it's it's as I say, it's an honour, really. So look, the image itself, I've been working on aerial photography for a while, and there was a snowfall similar to the one you've just had, actually. And after a long week doing working in the hospital, I didn't really feel. I probably should have travelled up on the Friday night, but I didn't. I left it till the Saturday, thinking it'd been a heavy snowfall, there'd be enough snow, and I was looking to photograph the Braids or Mount Cook in the snow from the air. There's a guy I've been flying with for a bit in Twizel, and we will have left on the Sunday morning, I suppose. And to my horror, when I got up in the air and we looked down the lake, the snow had actually melted in the Braids. So I thought, oh, this is going to have been a bit of a wild goose chase, and not a cheap one at that. And I was sort of thinking how I'd make the best of things, and we were heading there, and we're just passing over the sort of, I don't know, the lowlands of the Mackenzie, and this scene revealed itself to me. And I asked him to dip the plane, and I took a shot with the camera I had in hand, and I thought, well, I'll go back again and try and do it better. So we went round again, but I did on the second run. I never got the same sort of perspective or the composition. It's interesting. I don't know whether people have done much flying, but it's sometimes things just sit themselves up underneath you and present themselves, and you just got to nail it. And that was that shot. I thought at the time that I would have liked it a bit wider, but actually, what I got was just enough. And I think it was this abstraction that struck me, really, the geometry, the odd mixture of the tones of the forest, and then the tracks. They sort of leave all sorts of things to the imagination. I entered it to the Iris Awards, and someone thought it looked like a pacemaker, and the threads coming from the side, so I quite liked that. So, you know, in photography, it's one of those. Decision making is a tricky thing, really. Many a time I've dillied and dallied on the way to my planned location and sort of missed the shot because I've wasted the time that I needed to get there. But on the other hand, the things that you see when you go into that location, that might actually be the winning shots. And that was the case in this situation. So there is no hard and fast, and hopefully with experience, you just get better at making the right call, whatever the situation is. So that's the backstory to that, really. I suppose sometimes you just got to get out there and do it, and keep trying and keeping learning, and then hopefully all the elements sort of collide. So yeah, that's it. And again, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Roger. It's a fantastic image. Things are going around loopy things, so we're hearing things a couple times at our end, but so maybe we'll just, there it is. And here's the matching one from the other end. I'm not sure if you can see this one or not, but this is the one you can sit on the other end of the bookshelf.
Wow.
Image.
Amazing, really. Thank you very much. I feel very
things a couple
honored.
times at our end, but so maybe we'll just, there it is. And here's the matching one from the other end. I'm not sure if you can see this one or not, but
I
this is
can't
one
hear
you
you
can
guys.
see. Well, it's kind of weird. We're hearing you from about a minute ahead of when I say something, so this is going to come back again shortly. So the other thing I wanted to talk about briefly was the fact that we're trying to twist your arm up your back to judge next year. Can you make a comment on that?
I can't hear you. Well, I was going to talk. I was going to talk to my wife about that, but she's out of camera, just saying, "Madly, you should." So there you go.
The other thing I wanted to talk about briefly was the fact that we're trying to twist your arm up your back to judge next year. Can you make a comment on that?
Well, hopefully the days will align. So let's just talk off camera and work out what the days are. But that would be really good. Thank you.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll talk to you later. And once again, congratulations and thank you for joining us tonight.
No worries. Thank you.
Right, that pretty much concludes the proceedings for tonight. I just had a couple more comments that I want to make. Firstly, it's a little bit about the judging. In the past, up until now, we have had alternated judging panels that have either been in the North Island or the South Island, and the logic for that goes right back to when the whole thing was started, when boxes of slides were sent up and down places and people sat there looking at slides. And in the up until pretty much this year, we've always done the judging where the judges get together over the weekend for a day or a period of time. But this time we did half of it as separate online judges, where the judges looked at individual images, and that provided a sort of a screening phase, and then it was done with an all-night, and it was an all-nighter, kind of Zoom meeting using Lightroom to judge, and that went reasonably well. That gives us now the opportunity to not have to send boxes of slides or even the digital versions of boxes of slides to people, and we can have a judge from the North Island and a judge from the South Island on the same panel. So that's what we're hoping to do. We might even be bringing some judges in from overseas. We're hoping that, just as Roger says, this competition continues to be one of the most prestigious landscape competitions there is. So that's what we're aiming for, and I'm hoping we're going in the right direction. I just want to make another brief mention of the book, and I'm going to show you last year's book just briefly. This is it. This year's one is just as good, and even in some respects even better. Huge thanks to Anna Stevens, our in-house graphic designer, who puts this book together and creates something really fantastic. It's available on the website now. It's $70, which is a little bit more expensive than last year, but only a little bit. The price has gone up, and we lost money last year, so that's the reason for that, which includes postage to wherever you are in the country. You've got another 3 or 4 days. I think on the 5th is the day when we have to get them into the publisher to make sure the books are all here by Christmas time. So tonight, or maybe tomorrow, the digital PDF version of this year's book will be available to have a look on the website. I'll encourage you to all go and do that because when we've locked in the final print run, that's it, we're not getting another one. So when you see it, you'll regret not grabbing it. So I encourage you all to do that. Just a final thank you. Pretty much, I'm not going to go through everybody in the team. There's a whole bunch of people did lots of things involved to getting this together. Thank you for the judges as people who did something special and different and had some unique skills. But everybody at CPS who put this presentation together have done a great job. So thank you for everybody. And I think we'll just sign off there and go and have a cup of tea, so we've got some Suffolk.
Can we put all these chairs, these ones?
Yeah. Let's just sign off the stream first, and we'll talk about the chairs in just a sec.
No, I'm just going to say that.
Okay.